So let's jump right into Metasploitable 3. I'm not sure how this video will be cut. I may cut it in 2 videos, but you'll know because now you'll be on a 3rd video, or if not, you'll still be on the same video. Whatever. Metasploitable 3 times. So this is going to be .50. And we're going to tack on a -F flag again because we don't care about this specific port anymore. Let's scan and see what we find. Now, I will say this about Metasploitable 3. I think if you were to compile it yourself now, using their stuff, it would work. But at the time when I finally successfully got it to work, it's kind of a pain in the butt. But when I did get it successfully work, the port configurations are different. So every walkthrough I looked up, that's why I made the walkthrough that I made, that I showed off at the beginning of this journey segment, because that walkthrough shows you that, hey, you need to do a full intensive TCP port scan to find all the services that are actually running, because they're not running on the standard ports. So like I think the manage access engine or whatever, there's a vulnerability for. Normally by default runs on port 8020. In our case it's actually running on port 8022, and you won't really know that unless you do a more intense scan. But out of the gate we'll see what we can find. I've been talking this whole time as it's scanning because I forgot to actually remove the flag I just removed the port. So let's try that again. So we'll see what we find off the get-go, hacking this raw without Metasploit, but we may have to go and do a more intense scan, in which case it takes a minute, so I'll fast forward through it. But yeah, let's see what we see off the rip. See what we can get without Metasploit. So my normal workflow for this machine is I will really what I'll do is I'll just go to the Tomcat server because I know the default creds. I'll go there and I'll get an instant root shell if I need to. But what I like to do to get a quick shell is there's a managed desktop central 9 engine exploit or whatever, and it's Metasploit module, and you just point and click it at it and just modify the port, and you're good to go. You get a really quick shell that way. So that's normally what I do. I'll do that. The first time I rooted this machine, I did that. I was following a walkthrough. I did that, followed by the Tomcat exploit, because Tomcat exploit's not really an exploit. The service is just misconfigured. It's running as root, and it runs everything you pass it as root. And so you can go to the configs that has a password for that service to log in as admin. In plain text, you find the password, you get your creds, and then you log in, and then you can do it. So that's the normal workflow. And it looks like this machine is actually probably down. So give me a minute. I'm going to pause this and see what's up with that on the virtual host side and reset the machine. Alright, we're back. It should be up here in just a second if it's not already up. I think what was happening is when I had booted the machines on the ESXi side, they just booted into the current state they were, and it probably crashed and rebooted. Or probably crashed and shut down. And so when I rebooted it, it looked like it was rebooting into like it's from where it left off rather than restoring its state. So I manually restored the state, and it should be good now. That's probably what happened. Because I think when you power it on, it doesn't start from the restored state, it just starts from where it left off. So I think that's what was happening. But we're going to scan it now. Hopefully it doesn't consistently crash, because then I'll have to reconfigure that. That'll be annoying. I may just rebuild it from the ground up. That might be good. But anyway, we're scanning. Let's see what we find. I'm going to ping the box while we wait. See if it's going to... It'll be up. Discover. Oh, it's up. Doesn't like getting pinged. Doesn't like getting scanned either. Oh, okay, it's getting scanned. That worked. I don't know why it's not getting pinged. Alright, so let's see. We have OpenSH. So we can actually SSH in this Linux or in this Windows box. It's Windows Server 2008. This is actually vulnerable to think Eternal Blue. But the SMB service isn't open, so we can't actually exploit it that way, I don't think. But if we need to privesc, that is a viable privesc as long as we can turn on the SMB. So let's go look at this port 3000 here. Alright. Looks like got some good info here. Version. Let's see what we can exploit here. So WebRec, HTTP 3.1, 1.3.1, Ruby 2.3.3. Let's create our new window. Maybe our recon. And we're gonna cd desktop in this journey, and we're gonna do search exploit on this. There we go. We got a directory traversal. Look at the Ruby version. See if that's exploitable. Nope. But we do have this directory traversal that looks like it's vulnerable, even though the Ruby version doesn't quite match. It probably will work because it has more to do with the web server, I would think. That's just my hunch. I don't actually know that. I've never tried this exploit. Report. You can access all phone system non-disclosure names. Case sensitive file names. Alright, so if we just look, if we just try this, maybe it'll work. Let's try this. Nope, that's not what we want. I don't know if this is going to work or not. It doesn't quite match up. It may just be a catch-22 because this is kind of like a, well, not a catch-22, but a misleading thing because it is not everything on here is vulnerable. I think this is more of a CTF. So let's go look at port 8080 now. Glassfish server. Looks like this is a Glassfish is SSH maybe? I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. But what I do know is we're gonna search for that. Alright, so what is 4.0? Authenticated code execution. That's Glassfish server. It's a Metasploit module. Okay, can we get access, authenticated access? 4848. Okay, no, we can't. Not at the moment, because these ports are all backwards. Alright, so we can try this. See if this is vulnerable to anything. There's a weird Windows SSH thing. So let's try search exploit on this. I'm trying to get in a new way. So we say we had 7.1. User enumeration. Local privilege escalation. Sockets privilege escalation. Alright, that's not going to get us on the box, but maybe a viable priv esc. Don't know. This is a Windows box. Alright, so let's do a more intense all TCP support scan. It's going to take a second, so I'm going to fast forward. Alright, it is still taking a second, but we already see the support here, and this was interesting to me. So while that's still scanning, I'm going to go check it out. This one was supposed to go to port 4848, so that may not be right, but 8585 maybe? This is a WAMP server. I like that. I like WAMP. Should be able to probably pop shell here. Don't have permission to access that. Down. That's on the server. WordPress. Everybody likes WordPress. This is taking a second to load, so maybe it'll go to the right place. Alright, we'll let that go. Let's see what else we found. There is a 4848. So we really don't need this. We don't need this anymore. We'll keep our... Yeah, we don't need this. We're on a Windows box. So, 4848. TLS handshake. I don't know what's taking this so long. It's just hanging. Alright. This is going to be encrypted connection. Let's go to port 4848 then, why don't we? Maybe this is going to be that admin panel so we can get an authenticated, whatever it was. Yeah, the Glassfish server, that's right. Admin console is starting. It's taking forever. Leave it alone for a second. Actually, while that's loading, I'm going to go check out server. Insecure file permissions privilege escalation. That might be useful later. Let's look at it. See, web server installs two servers called WM Apache and WM SPD with weak file permission running with system privileges. This could potentially allow an authorized but non-privileged local user to execute arbitrary code with elevated privileges on the system. So an executable file called replace the original files. So this file will get executed as system. So it looks like in this case I can do I can drop an exe that'll be like a payload with that name in that folder and run the service. And when it runs, it'll run as system. And that will prove us. That sounds kind of fun. We may do that. Alright, we need creds. Let's try some defaults. Admin, password, admin glass fish. And let's look up glass fish admin default. Master password is change it. Admin, change it. Looks like they may have changed it. Well, let's do some more Googling. So what version are we? Let's finish something. Oh, look, our scan's finished. That's cool. Let's look at the glassfish thing again. 8080 4.0 is the version we're on. Is blank. Okay. Nope. Admin. Yep, okay. None of those defaults are working. So, what can we do? Yeah, 8585 is an open port. Let's check it out. 8585. We got HTTP. Oh, that was the WAMP server from earlier. I'm an idiot. Okay, 49200 is Elasticsearch. Okay, gives us back some data, you know, for search. We could probably get some data back from here while playing with that. Alright, what else do we got? 282, 8022. This is my favorite. This is the way I always get in. So I think this one normally it has the default password. It shows it here. It's like admin or something, but it's admin. Should work. Admin password ring. Admin. Okay, I don't know why that didn't work the first time. That was weird. So default credits worked. Admin. Cool. So we should be able to get a shell from here, honestly. But really, you don't even need to be authenticated in order to do this. But I think now that we are authenticated, we may be able to work this out. User administration. DB access. I'm not really sure how this works or what it is. Install and uninstall Windows software. Bitch. Skip. Looks like we may be able to upload and run this. So, find applications. If any of these were vulnerable by default, we could install these. So Windows, Wireshark. It's funny, installing Wireshark will actually give us Nmap or NCAT. Ooh, maybe that's what we'll do. No, Nmap is what gives us NCAT. Never mind, not Wireshark. Can we install Nmap maybe? There's Wireshark on here, why not? I don't know Nmap. No, it doesn't look like it has Nmap. What about Nmap? Nope. Alright, never mind. We'll do our own application. So let's say Ponum. Yeah, okay, I don't care about that. The network share. Save. This is denied. Domains being discussed. Okay, well, I've spent a good amount of time on that part already. I'm gonna go and look up the exploit that I know works. See if we can't just exploit that manually. So, niche engine. I guess there should be more. Manage engine. Desktop. Central 9. There we go. So let's see. Arbitrary file upload and code execution. That sounds good to me. Exploit -x, right? Authenticated file upload. Code execution system via file upload. Shell.jsp, your favorite JSP shell here. Alright, let's make us a JSP shell then. Let's just look at it and see how it works just by copying and pasting this in here. Let's look at the Metasploit module to kind of get an idea of how this is supposed to run. So if we do load, let's see here. See how it does this. It says stager. I want to see the exploit itself. See how they do it. Upload JSP stager. I don't know how to do that off the top. It wasn't really helpful to me. Oh, I'm an idiot. This needs to be a post request. I was doing a get request. This will be our actual shell, right? So let's do this. Let's go to create a new shell thing, and we'll call this exploit. We'll do a lot of things here. So we're going to start with venom. We're going to create a payload. It's going to be Windows shell reverse TCP, I think. This is a venom -L HP. Well, list payloads. L list payload. There we go. Alright, let's look here. So I think probably get away with just outputting the format as JSP, but I think we may actually want a real JSP shell. And then this is venom. So let's look at that. Java JSP shell reverse TCP. That's what we want. Why did we open a second terminal? That's not what we want. Okay, that's not it either. Okay, so hang it. Let's see, you said Java. So say NSF venom. I'll say lhost. And then 2.168.2.186. Port 1337. And we'll put this up to NS desktop MS journey shell.jsp. Hopefully that won't give us any trouble. Hopefully that's right. I think I did that wrong. I think I'm supposed to do equals here. And dash P2 for payload. I'm forgetting my MSFN arguments. I haven't used it in a minute. That looks like it worked. Alright, we got our shell.jsp. Let's look at crafting a post request with, I think we should do this with Firefox, but post request curl. Alright. Alright. Take a note here from what we're supposed to be doing. Okay, so we say curl dash s data. Add this in here. Let's copy all this. Open text editor real quick. Paste it in, break down the command. Okay. That's all it is. So if we do curl, it's just data, and we put all this stuff in quotes here. Only thing we really care about is this last one, which is the shell. I think. Yeah, because that's going to be our file name. So if we do what we've got right here, and then we say desktop this journey shell.jsp, right? And then we just go after that page, which is I don't have it. Where is it? Agent uploader. Agent log uploader. Okay. So then we just do that, and I don't know what the response was. We could probably use Burp Suite to make this easier. Don't know that. I don't want to do that just yet. Oh yeah, copy as curl. Sure. Let's do that. Yeah, Burp Suite would make this a lot easier. Okay. Let's keep trying. We want to do this manually. Alright, so we got 200. Let's do this. Copy as a curl request. Open up this. Alright, the only thing we're going to want to really change is this. Copy all that. And we're going to go ahead and start our reverse shell handler, because even if that did work, we wouldn't have known. So msf console. So everything I'm doing is valid on the OSCP. I am not using an interpreter shell, and I am opening the Metasploit framework right here, but this is only for the multi-handler, which are both valid. I know I really don't have to say that because I've done this before, but just so nobody gets confused. Alright, so we're going to use exploit multi-handler. I'm going to say set payload to Java. Oh no, give it a second to load. Java GSP shell reverse TCP set L host 192.168.2.186 set L port to 1337, and we start this exploit as a job. And then we go back to our exploit tab, paste this in, and hope for the best. Alright, didn't get anything. Alright, so let's not give up just yet. Oh, that's in the post data. I'm such an idiot. Alright, here's what we're going to do. We're going to load up Burp Suite. Burp Suite's going to make this a lot easier. Start up Fox Proxy. Burp. That's right. Start Burp. So the reason Burp Suite's going to make this easier is because we're going to craft that request, and that request was right as is by default. I didn't mean to click update now. That's not what I wanted to do. It's going to make this a lot easier because what I'm doing wrong is the body of the request needs to be my payload, not the parameter. So I'm just kind of making that all kinds of ugly. So like all this is right. We can leave that alone. We say enter. We intercept our request here with burp. We want to actually want to send this to repeater for now, and we're going to drop this request as it is. We're going to change this to a post request, not a get request. Post. And then we're going to paste in our reverse shell and hope it works. Open this up, copy it, paste. We're going to go to, oops, don't know what I'm doing, I'm a moron, hold on, give me a second. Alright, let's go to our handler. Let's say go. Seems like we got an OK. Didn't get a shell back. So let's change the method here to post. Actually, we could just do it here. This is the request body. Try again. And send. Okay, that got intercepted by our proxy. Let's send this to repeater for debugging later, and for now we'll forward it and see if that worked. It did not. That's why we sent it to repeater. We really don't care about the rest of this stuff. Let's send it like this maybe. It's nothing. I don't care about all this. I do care about the host though. Go ahead and OK. Still nothing. Huh. Let's go look a little bit closely at that exploit again. Nope. Huh. So that's fairly difficult to exploit. By default, here's what I'm going to do for now. I'm going to turn the proxy intercept off. I'm going to poke around at a couple other services real quick, see if I can't find something that's a little bit easier to exploit off the rip. If not, I'll go into research mode and start doing some research. Jenkins. I know what to do here, guys. Don't worry. We're about to pop a shell. Let's do this. Okay, this is about to be super, super easy to do. I just gotta remember how to do this. I say it's gonna be easy and then I completely forget. We're gonna call this project Pwn. We're gonna create a freestyle project. I wish I had found this earlier. I wasted so much time on that manage engine. Holy crap. Alright, so basically here's why we're going to get to do what we want to do here. Because we can go here and we can add a build step and we can execute Windows batch command and you see where this is going, right? Now, it does get a little bit difficult because I have to do some fancy magic here. So we don't really need this anymore. We're done. Burp suite. We will still need Metasploit multi-handler, but we're gonna need. Actually, we don't need a Metasploit multi-handler. We're done here. Exit. Exit. Move shell.jsp. All right. Here's what we're gonna do. I think I have some scripts. I need to do some poking around real quick. Scripts. ps1liner.txt. Let's power up. That's cool. One-liners. ps1liners. I think the ps1liners is the script that I'm looking for. Yeah. Yeah, so we're going to need this, but I don't know any information about this machine, so this really isn't helpful because I think that's just stock something that I copied off of Google. I can't really remember. But the idea here is I'm going to invoke PowerShell to download incat, and then once that's downloaded, I'm going to run it with bash. So what I need to do though is find some file paths to run stuff with. So basically we're going to do a dir to find out where we're at, and then I'm going to do a cd slash and then a dir to find out what's going on. And that's going to be great. I'm going to save this. The proxy is refusing connections. That's because we need to turn the proxy off. Dang it. Right, okay, so let's go back to configure, make sure everything's good to go. Right, that looks good. Build now. This is going to build this project, and we'll see the output here. So Jenkins is a unit test framework, I think. So it's building code and stuff, and you can script out certain stuff. So here's the console output that we got. So we're executing on this machine. We've got it. We can run commands, right? We've got a terminal. So we started out in our Windows Service Profiles, then we CD'd up out into the root directory. Okay, so we're going to go to the temp folder and work in there. So let's go back to our project. Configure. So we're going to say cd slash temp, and we're going to see what's going on in here. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to open link in a new tab for build. I guess I really didn't need to do that. What I needed to open a link in a new tab for was this one. And look at the console output. We're in the temp directory. Vagrant elevated shelf. Vagrant shell bat. Those will be interesting to look at. So now what I can do is I can say PowerShell dash help, maybe make sure we can actually run PowerShell commands. I'm pretty sure we can. So we'll build now. And we'll look at what's going on. Alright, PowerShell's running. That's all we really need to know. We didn't even actually need the help prompt. So here's what we're going to do. I need to do a couple things. First thing I need to do is start a Python web server. Right, and the second thing I need to do is go put stuff in this web server. So what I'm going to do here is I've got some scripts here and a couple other things. So the first thing I have is this incat portable. This is a portable incat binary, and it is great, and we're going to use that, and we're going to send that payload over to our victim. I guess I should have finished extracting that. So we'll extract that here. Alright, so that's our incat binary. You can get that from ZenMap website. The second thing I'm going to do here is go to my, not that one-liner, my PowerShell one-liners. And this is a one-liner that's going to let me download stuff from the internet in PowerShell. I'll dissect this command a little bit. So this is going to execute, it's going to make a new object, which is the systemnet web client. This is basically a wget. That's what you need to know. This is the PowerShell equivalent of a wget. It's the syntax for it. Creates a web client object and executes the download file function to download whatever you want from wherever you want. In this case, we're going to want to download from my server over at 186 on port 1000, right? And we're going to want to download incat.exe, and we're going to want to download it to the C drive temp incat.exe. And now if we do a dir, we'll be able to see it actually, and there we'll also be able to see when it hits our web server that it ran successfully. So we'll be able to see that connection here. So yeah, there we go. We're going to build now. And we're going to watch this to see if it actually hits. Looks like that worked. Awesome. Fantastic. Okay. And now I'm going to do a dir, or I'm going to go look at the dir output to make sure it's actually in there. It definitely is. Alright, let's run it. We're about to get a shell. So what we can do now is we can say incat.exe connect to 192.168.2.186 on port 1337 and send me I need cmd.exe, so that'll be in c slash need to think of my Windows directories here. Where is cmd.exe? There we go. cmd.exe. That should work all fine and dandy. So now what we can do is we can start reverse shell handling. And now at this point, since we've got an incat binary on the system, it's a lot like hacking a Linux machine. I know a lot of people are really intimidated about Windows exploitation because it's really unfamiliar, and it's honestly, it seems not as easy. It's funny because we joke about Windows being super easy to hack and Linux is so much more secure, open source, blah blah blah, and that's true mostly, but then you turn around and you see a lot of people who are getting into InfoSec and they have a hard time hacking Windows, especially doing Prevesc and stuff like that. And it's really not hard. It's just a lot of the command line stuff is very different from Linux. So if you're comfortable in Linux, or if you're just a user and you're comfortable in Windows as a user and not the command line, it can be kind of intimidating. But that's why it's good to know some PowerShell stuff and really understand, kind of what you're doing, because it's really not all that different. It's really not quite that difficult. I will say I'm no expert in it. I still struggle myself, but I've had a lot more practice, especially on Hack the Box, and with this Metasploitable3 VM is a good way to practice as well. So just so you know, it's good to know. So because we're about to pwn it using netcat just like we would normally. You just have to drop the binaries on there. So if you got a way to upload files and execute them like we do here, it works great. So we're going to call this shell. We'll start our incat listener. What's going to be cool about this one is we'll actually be encrypted over SSL. So we'll have a super legit little incat shell going, and we will apply this, and it should hang here if it works, and we should also get a connection back. So we'll start the build. That should actually hang. It should never finish. That was so far so good. Maybe don't have a connection yet. Looks like maybe no. Looks good. Alright. That's a good sign, but we had some issues. So let's look at why it crashed. I think maybe we have to pause. Because this is a batch script. It will have executed that binary and stopped. Which is weird because I feel like it shouldn't have. Let me try one more thing because I feel like it should have just hung. Let's take off the quotes. We don't really need those. Apply. We got a connection back, which is a good sign. Well, now connection. There we go. There we go. Perfect. I think it was just the quotes. Alright, there's our shell. We're here. It's a little bit laggy, but we're here. So who am I? Alright, so I'm not the system shell yet. So let's look at these files. How do I do that again? I think I can do like a less vagrant related shell.ps1. Trying to remember how I do that. Type, that's right. Type is kind of like cat. Related shell.ps1. Ah, I lost my shell. Wonder what the feedback is there. It's kind of not a stable shell, is it? Looks like that build bombed out altogether. Try to hit another page maybe. Make sure the machine is still up. Could have crashed. Which would be kind of stupid, but could have. That's exciting. I got a shell on it without Metasploit. I've never done that. I'll still have the shell up there, but okay, that's not good. For 8080. Alright, we might have crashed, and that's okay. Let's do a net discover, see if that IP is still up and listing. It is not. It looks like the machine crashed. I'm going to go restore it. Bear with me. Alright, so, yeah, the machine did indeed crash. It's now been restored. We're going to have to do all the exploitation again, though, now that we've restored it. So it's a good thing that we know that works. Let's add this. And we're going to quit cutting corners. We're gonna go straight for the kill here. Let's see, we want to go to temp slash cat.exe, right? 192.168.1.186 for 8000 slash mcat.exe, and then we want to invoke that, or no, it's not invoke really. We'll do dir, and we'll do mcat.exe 192.168.1.86 port 1337, and we're sending it c:/system32 /cmd.exe. Apply. And hopefully we can hang on to this long enough to Provesk. Alright, so we applied. Let's start our build. Build is started, and now we wait. In the meantime, I'm going to look at this Provesk script real quick. Probably just not original Windows on it. That looks like a Provis script that's already on the box. You may try it. Might be fun. Alright, this build failed. Let's find out why. Run the temp directory. Looks like it didn't download. Unable to connect to the remote server. Okay. Something's up with my web server. Should still be here, right? Let's see what's up. Oh, that one. Wrong subnet. Alright. Build now. Build my shell. And any second now. Unless no connection because I gave the wrong subnet to the netcat as well. I did give the wrong subnet to the netcat. Look at me. At least I'm consistent. Alright. Let's build it again. Oh, that felt right away. What was the issue with this one? Ah, dash E. I'm missing my dash E flag here. Screwing up my commands all over the place. Here, if this works, I'm gonna copy it just in case it crashes again. Alright, let's build. Looking good so far. Alright, we got the connection, it failed. Try again. Alright, it's crashing. I think because maybe my path's wrong. Location of CMD. Windows. Yep, my path is wrong. Bet you guys watching are like, oh, you fucked up the path. What's wrong with you? Sitting there anxiously, waiting for me to figure it out and get it right. Alright. There we go. I'll have my listener going. Probably failed already. Yep, failed already. Try again. And there we go. Got a shell. This one seems a little bit more stable. Alright, let's type vagrant shell.bat. Okay. Let's run it, I guess. Vagrant. Ah. Alright. Run. Just a PowerShell. There's C. Vagrant. I don't know if this is going to work or not. I'm just trying this because it's here. Maybe it works. Maybe it doesn't. Alright. Yeah, alright. I don't know what that's doing. Maybe PowerShell. Just run it like this. I'm not going to play around with this too much, especially if I have to go like edit the file and whatnot. Okay. Yeah, so here's what we're going to do. Turn on SMB command See if I can privs care. If not, I'll do my standard privs. Text. PowerShell. PowerShell. That was weird. PowerShell. Dang it. PowerShell-C, paste this. I don't know if it's going to work or not. That's not what I want. Alright, that's not going to work the way I want. So, let's look at CD. Where do I want to go? Program files. Program files. Can't spell. CD into the Apache Software Foundation. Tomcat. Apache Tomcat. -8.0-33. CD into the configuration folder. CD type out Tomcat users.xml. So just for reference, I know there's a Tomcat server on here, and it may be running with higher privileges than I am. In fact, I know it is. And if I look in here, even if it's not, this is just maybe a good way to get another shell and maintain access. But if I look in here, I can see what the usernames and passwords are. So here we have some user roles, Tomcat. Password needs to be changed, but we got the manager GUI access, username is Sploit and password is Sploit. So we may be able to use that to our advantage here. So the Tomcat server is on 8282. So if we go check that out. Manager app, and we go Sploit. Alright, this is going to be similar to the Jenkins exploit we just did, only we're not running batch commands. We're going to deploy a shell to it. In fact, this is a shell that I've already deployed to it when I was doing demo stuff, and my restore image has it on there still. So it's kind of a fun thing. But this, you're able to deploy war files. So we're going to need to, it's like a JSP, but it's a different format. So we're still going to need to generate a JSP reverse shell, kind of like we had earlier. But it's going to be a little bit different. We're going to rename this to web server, and we're going to create a new window for handler. Go ahead and start that up. And then we're going to go back to our recon screen, and we'll call this one payload. So we're going to say MS. We're not going to be able to do that from here. We'll say MSF Venom -P Java slash JSP shell reverse TCP. I'm going to specify our L host as 192.168.2.186 and L port as 1338, I guess. And we're going to war. Create our war file. Alright, looks like the payload created successfully. So now what we can do is we can browse a war file and upload. Not that, that is our target IPs. Going to war. We'll deploy this. And that looks like it uploaded successfully. We haven't ran it yet, which is good because we need to finish setting up our multi-handler. So we're going to say set payload to Java JSP shell reverse TCP. No, gotta use the multi-handler first. Multi-handler. Now we're gonna set payload to Java. Give it a second because I hit tab for autocomplete. Takes a second to load. Shell reverse TCP. Set. Whoa. Didn't mean to do that. That's okay. Set L host 192.168.2.186. Set the L port to 1338. And we're going to start this as a job. Alright, and now if we go to our war file, let me say start, and we go visit the page. No. Interesting. It's not working. Huh. Does this one work? This one does work. Interesting, that didn't work. Alright, let's go look at our payload creation again. Let's see if we can do this any different. Say if we specify the format as war, see if that makes it better. And then we say final size war file. Okay, that might have been better. Remove going to war. I have our lol.war. Let's try this again, see if that works better. So deploy. That looks like it worked. Alright. Let's go check out our handler. Do we have a shell? We have a shell. Sessions-I. Alright, we don't know what kind of shell we have yet, so let's I1. Alright, we're here. Who am I? We're system. We got root. So basically what we did there, we could have done a lot of things. We could have explored around a lot more to do Provesk, but there's a misconfiguration on that Tomcat server for running war files, and the war files will run as the system user. The Jenkins unit test building software let us run batch scripts, so we were able to download netcat and just execute it. We could have also executed a payload, so like if you were on an actual pen test and you saw that, first off, wow. Second off, to exploit that and have like Meterpreter and be able to do like use the post-exploitation module stuff in the real world, you could have dropped a Meterpreter payload on there and executed that just like we did the netcat binary, and you would have gotten a Meterpreter shell. So you could have done it like that. Just so for context, you don't have to do what I did. I was just pure, no Meterpreter. The NCAT binary was great. It gives me a nice encrypted shell here that I still have. So it's fantastic, working great. So I've got my user shell, I've got my root shell. Everything's fine and dandy. We have pwned all 3 Metasploitable machines without using Metasploit. So, way to go. So, yeah, the next OSCP journey videos, I don't know when they'll be or what machine I'll do next. I've got quite a few on the back burner still to do, at least 3 or 4 more, if not more. And then I'm still thinking about purchasing my VIP on the Hack the Box website so I can do some of the retired machines that I've done for you guys. That's not really quite as beneficial. Those would be more like tutorials, and the whole point of the series is to watch my journey. But I don't mind doing a tutorial every now and then for those of you who are on Hack the Box who wanted to see, who were struggling with those machines and perhaps didn't get them and wanted to see how to do it. I don't mind that because that's one of the benefits. As I learn, you guys are learning. So, and I did have to go through and learn those machines at one point. I can't just know what to do, especially there. Those you really have to figure it out because there's no walkthroughs. So I don't know. I may do that. I'm still debating it, but I still got quite a few VulnHub machines to work through, and we've got a couple months to go before my actual OSCP journey starts. So we'll see how much I grow in between now and then. I've recently hit over 300 subscribers. I didn't say anything about this at the beginning of the video because it's not really my focus, but my channel has grown a good bit. I'm not like a YouTube mega sensation or anything, but it's kind of cool to see that people are enjoying my videos, so I really appreciate that. Feel free to like and subscribe and all that kind of jazz. I really like getting comments and being able to help provide feedback and stuff. One comment I did get recently was somebody on my Eternal Blue video for my Auto Blue exploit code asking me about how it would work on Windows 10. And I actually had never practiced on Windows 10 before. In fact, I haven't even tried it on Windows 8. I've only done it on Server 2008 and Windows 7 personally. So that exploit code, when I made it, I didn't know at the time, or at the time when I was reading, I was under the impression that Eternal Blue and most of the Eternal Romance, Eternal Synergy, all those exploits did not work on Windows 10 at all. That's the research that I had done. That's what I had come up with. Well, the recent research that I've done actually says that's not quite true. A really early version of Windows 10 is exploitable. In fact, I think 2 early versions of Windows 10 are exploitable by both Eternal Blue and the other Eternal whatever exploits. One of them does not have public exploit code at all. It's from a research firm, and they've just confirmed it and showed off their POC, but they have not released any public exploit code for it. The other one is actually supported by default already in my exploit. It's for build 10,240 or something like that. I found an ISO for that, and it seems to, when I run the exploit checker against it, it looks like the service version is correct. So I think the ISO is actually the correct version. I ran my checker against it, and it says, hey, this is the correct Windows 10. We support it. It says it's unpatched. You should be good to go to try it. But when I actually run the exploit against it, it's not working. So that is, I've got a comment about that recently, and that's the research I've done there. I will be coming up with a video whenever I finish my personal research on that. I'll make a video on how to exploit every single machine that my Auto Blue exploit code supports. So that would be Windows 7, Windows Server 2008, Windows Server 2012, and Windows 8, and Windows 10. I think that's all of them. I think Windows XP in 2003 are supported as well. I don't know if they're supported by my exploit code or not, but I think there's a general public exploit code, so I may include that in there as well if applicable, but that's going to take me some time to do, so don't expect that anytime soon. But that is something I'm going to be working on. I'm just going to gradually keep trying it and practicing and doing research and see if I can get those exploits to work on those compatible versions, and then I will make a video showing how to do that for everybody else. So I did receive a comment about that, so I just wanted to say something about it. That's something I am working on for the future, other than that'll be part of the series, but it will be a little bit different video, kind of like this is a little bit different video. Yeah, that's all I have to say. Thanks you guys for watching. Let me know if there's anything I can do to improve videos and stuff like that. Otherwise, I hope this was helpful. I hope you learned something as I did while I was going through these. It was really fun to find exploits that find stuff that I knew how to exploit and stuff that I know has potential vulnerabilities, like the Jenkins thing for the batch scripts and stuff. That was really fun. I hope you guys are enjoying, and yeah, thanks for watching.
It was all a dream. As a teen, I had ambitions to MC, but the transition wasn't as simple as it seems. To turn your